Okay. Very good evening, students. Good evening to all. Okay. Very good evening, Mamta Sharma. Please confirm about the voice and the video. Yes, any volunteer, please confirm about the voice and the video. Very good evening, Aprajita. Okay, thank you, Mamta, for clarifying that. On that note, let's begin with this class. So, first of all, I welcome each one of you to my class on the conclusion of the Indian Contract Act 1872. Let's start with my brief introduction first. So, my name is Sandeep Khatri. My areas of specializations are the constitutional law, criminal law, commercial law, family law, jurisprudence, and law of torts. So, I have also shared the link of my profile students of Unacademy. So, make sure you follow that to get all the updates about my special classes and my plus courses. I have shared the link of my Telegram channel as well. Through which you can connect with me and ask your questions related to your judicial preparation. At last, I have mentioned my code, that is Khatri10, which you can use to get free access of all the special classes available on Unacademy app, and also to get 10% discount on the all the Unacademy Plus courses. One more important announcement, students. For today, if you are going to subscribe for any of the Unacademy course, you will get 20% of discount. And that is for today only. So this was about me. Now I request everyone, please be attentive, and this is going to be an interactive session. So what we are going to do today, we are already done the last concept which we have discussed yesterday was quasi-contract. So I'll start this class with some questions. If you do have any questions from the topics which we have already covered, you may ask. And if not, then I quickly start with section number 68, and so on. We are going to complete the Indian Contract Act. So first opportunity, I'm giving it to you. If you have any questions, you may ask. Yes, please. All good, Aprajita. How are you? Very good evening, Kirti, and everyone, those of you who have just joined. Okay, Aprajita is clear. What about Kirti, Mamta? Do you have any questions to ask? Chaliye, good to know about that, Aprajita. Okay, Kirti. So no questions at all. So let's start with the concept of quasi-contract. So I have some questions associated with this topic. So first I am going to ask all those questions to you only, and after that I'm going to answer those. Okay. So my question number 1 for this class is, can we say quasi-contract is made by law? Yes, can we say that quasi-contract is made by law, not by parties? Yes, please do confirm in the comments. Quasi-contract is made by law or made by parties? Very good evening, Amit and everyone, those of you who have just joined. Okay, I've got the answer from Kirti, Amit, and Aprajita. Okay, everyone is answering yes, it's made by law. Resemble, Amit. Made by law, Mamta Sharma. Okay, the answer is correct, students. Now let me give you the reasoning for that. When it comes to quasi-contract, it is made by law and not by parties. Why so? Because if there is no section 68 to 72, then you cannot make someone liable for quasi contract. Usually we say agreement is made by the parties, law is made by the sorry, usually we say when it comes to agreement is made by the parties. Okay, because parties only decide to whom they want to give the proposal, to whom they want, whether they want to give the acceptance or not, what is going to be the consideration. So all these questions are going to be decided only by the parties itself. So we say agreement is made by the parties. When it comes to the second step, contract. So section 10 make the agreement the contract. So section 10 is basically the law. So law make the contract. But when it comes to quasi contract, it is section 68 to 72 only. Because of what? We do have the concept of quasi contract. Okay. Now coming to the next question. Why do we call, okay, if you can answer this, it means your concepts are clear. Now coming to the next second question and the important one. Can you tell me why we do have a concept of quasi contract? Why the jurist named this concept quasi contract and not quasi tort? Why this topic has been given the name quasi contract? See, when you go with the bare reading of the bare act, starting from section 68 till 72, quasi contract, this term has not been used, right? So why do we call it quasi contract and not quasi tort? So what is the reasoning? Yes, please do answer in the comments. Waiting for your answer in the comments. If you don't know the answer, please do write don't know so that I can explain. Aprajita and Kirti, I think you both have similar answer. So it resembles like contract, but still this reason is not sufficient. See, when it comes to tort, it's a civil wrong. When it comes to contract, it is again a civil law. And if there is a breach of contract, that is again something which fall under civil law only. So your reasoning that it resembles with contract is not sufficient. Reason being, because there is no contract between the parties. There is no contract between the parties. So it just the concept of quasi contract resembles, which means we treat that as a contract. The law treat that as a contract, which has not been made by the parties. But I want more specific answer. I want more specific answer. Anyone else who wants to try? I hope the question is clear to everyone. Okay, now let me answer. I'm giving you the answer. When it comes to section 68 till section 72, we will call it as a quasi contract. This is the correct one. We will not call it quasi tort. Now coming to the reason. The reason is because when it comes to contract, it deals with right in personam. And when it comes to quasi tort, it deals with basically torts and mean right in rem. So when you go into the meaning of these maxims, right in personam and right in rem, so if you compare section 68 to 72, this is all about right in personam and not right in rem. And that is why we call it quasi-contract. I hope now it's clear. If not, ask me the questions. If yes, quickly give me a thumbs up. I'll move to the next one. Clear? When it comes to section 68 to 72, it is right in personam. And contract deals in right in personam. Chaliye. If it is clear, I am moving to the next question. Now, my next question is, students, when it comes to section 68, who is liable? Under section 68, minor is liable or minor's property is liable. Choose the correct answer. When it comes to section number 68, who is liable? Minor is liable or minor's property is liable? Starting from Kirti, everyone is writing property of minor. Aprajita, minor's property. Amit, his property. Now in that scenario, if his property is liable, then please do answer this one. If you are saying minor's property is liable, my counter question to you is why? Why minor is not personally liable? Why only minor's property is liable? Please do answer. Why minor is not personally liable? Why only minor's property is liable? You can answer all these questions only if you have studied section 68 in detail. Yes, please. Answer. Last 20 seconds. After that, I'll reveal the answer. Okay, I've got the first answer from Kirti. Minor is incapable person in the eyes of law. He per se is to be protected. Because if you made him liable personally and he breaches the contract, in that case, no remedy available. Aprajita, sir, minor is not a party to the contract. Due to doctrine of unjust enrichment, his property is liable to reimburse. Okay, Aprajita is more close to the correct explanation. Now let me tell you this. The why, the answer of why. See, when it comes to minor, as per to section number 11 of the Indian Contract Act, we are not making minor eligible for the contract only. Why not? Because we cannot put liability on the minor. Now mind it, if in a contract we are not making the minor liable because he is not the party capable to even have the contract, in that case, if even in the cases of contract we are not making him liable, how can we make liable minor in the cases of quasi contract? In this particular situation, why minor's property is liable now? Because minor has taken unjust enrichment. Because of only this topic, because of this unjust enrichment, we are making minor's property liable. And this is the reasoning for this question. If it is clear, quickly give me a thumbs up. I'll move to the next one. Done? Okay. Uh, Amit, answer to your question. You are writing here. Even in section 31, IPA minus. I hope you are referring section number 30 here, not 31. 31 is admission of the partner. Right? 31 is the admission of the partner. Section 30 is basically talking about when minor can be admitted to the benefits of the partnership. Okay? Now coming to the next question. So suppose there is a Mr. A and he found some goods. Okay. So Mr. A, if he found goods, in that scenario, you tell me if Mr. A found goods, we can say Mr. A finder of the goods. Now, whosoever is the owner of the goods, there is no contract between Mr. A and the owner of the goods. But still there are some duties on Mr. A. Now my question is, why there is any duty on finder of goods? Yes, please. Why there is any duty on the finder of goods? Waiting for your answer. Why finder of goods has duty on him? Amit, finder of the goods will be treated as a bailee. But my question is why? See, section 71 makes this point very clear that finder of the goods will take care of the goods as a bailee. Okay, but my question is why? Why section 71 says so? Okay, now let me answer this. The answer of this question is the finder of the goods has two options. First option, he submit the goods to the nearest police station. This is the first option. The second option, take care as bailee. Which means if you are a finder of a goods, just because you have found some goods, you will not become the owner. The first easiest option available to the finder of goods is to submit the goods to the nearest police station. If the finder of the goods is exploring this option, there is no duty on him. But if he choose this option, कि okay, I will keep these goods with me and I am going to find the good, I am going to find the real owner. In that case, he has to take care as a bailee, right? Because again, this is what quasi contract is. This is what you cannot have as an unjust enrichment. This is the reasoning. I hope it's clear. Kirti, finder knows that he himself is not the owner and still takes the goods with himself. If he is keeping with self and not give to the authorities, he shall have those duties, otherwise he can miss. Completely correct answer, Kirti. One more thing, there's a one famous example of this as well. So suppose you are crossing the road and you found a gold ring. So you just cannot wear and thank God, right? That would fall under criminal law as well. That will fall under the misappropriation of property as well. So that's an offense as well. Okay. But if you choose to take, so you have these two options. Okay. If you don't want any unwanted duty, just submit the goods to the nearest police station. Then, and you are out of the trouble. Chaliye ji. Now coming to the next one. So suppose there is Mr. A and he got a gift. That on Diwali. Like on a festive season, he got a gift which is by mistake delivered to this person. Now the question is, what is the liability of this Mr. A? Yes, if Mr. A got the gift on Diwali and that was delivered by mistake. So basically that gift was for Mr. N, the neighbor of Mr. A. But he is the one who is having that gift. And he can read that as well. Okay, on every gift there is a slip. So he can easily read that it's not for me, it's for my neighbor. But that has been delivered mistakenly. Now the question is, what is the liability? What A can do now? Can A use those goods to return the gift to Mr. N? So the answer here is, he must repay or return. So either Mr. A have to repay to Mr. N or return the gift. This is the liability of Mr. A. Now, this will not fall under the finder of the goods. He is not one who found the goods. So the goods have been mistakenly delivered to him. So this was the quasi-contract, students. Now let's move to before moving to the last topic, that is consequences of breach of contract. If you have any questions from the quasi-contract, you may ask. And if not, quickly give me a thumbs up. I'll move to the last topic, that is consequences of breach of contract. Correct answer, Amit and Kirti. Clear? Now moving towards the last topic. Now the name of the last topic is consequences of breach of contract. So what are going to be the consequences? And the consequences is going to be the damages, which is basically if there is a contract between two parties, Mr. A and Mr. B. Mr. B has committed breach of contract. Now what Mr. A can do? Mr. A can file a suit against Mr. B and claim damages. This is what Indian Contract Act is about. Indian Contract Act will first tell you that what is a contract. What is a contract? And if someone has breached the contract, then what is the remedy available? So the remedy available is damages. And suppose if the person wants that goods only, not the damages. There may be cases where the person is not interested in damages, but he wants that person to perform that promise. And then there comes the rule of Specific Relief Act. When you want specific relief, you want the performance of the contract only and not anything else. In that case, the rule of Specific Performance Act comes into the picture. But as far as the Indian Contract Act is concerned, the remedy available is damages. So what is damages? So suppose because of breach of contract, if Mr. A has suffered loss of 10,000 rupees, then the court will grant damages of 10,000 rupees. So this is what all Contract Act all about. Now coming to the next part of this consequences of breach of contract. What if someone rightfully resigned the contract? Now what is this concept of rightful resigned? Let's take an example. You need to understand what is the difference between breach of contract and rightfully resigned the contract. In both these cases, you are basically ending the transaction, ending the contract. But in case of breach of contract, you are liable for damages. And in case of rightfully resigned, what is the case? In this case, you are not liable for any kind of damages. So you need not to pay any kind of damages. So no damages. This is basically your section 75. This is basically your section 73. Kirti, sir, these classes are in continuation. No, these are not in continuation. These are some, you can treat them as an extra classes. Okay, these are some extra classes. Anything else, students, which is not clear to you? Yes, please. If it's all done, quickly give me a thumbs up. I'll wrap up the session. And if you do have any questions, you may ask. Okay, ji. On that note, this is the link of my profile, my Telegram channel, and this is my code Khatri10. Students, I have very important information to share with you all, that there is a price drop alert for judiciary aspirants. This offer has been started from November 25th. As of now, today, you got 10% of discount on all your plus courses, on all your subscriptions. For today, there is an offer for 20%. So make sure you take benefit of all this. So you can use my code, that is Khatri10, to get 20% off discount. This is the judiciary test series for December. This is the judiciary test series for December in a detailed one. So there is everything for all the students. For special class students, you can have major laws mock test, current affairs test series. For plus students, all this, and for iconic, everything. This is the batch which has been recently started, Sarthi 4.0, from November 28th. This is the Rajasthan State Judiciary batch, started from November 18th. This is the result from Unacademy of Rajasthan Judicial Services exam. These are all the features of Unacademy Iconic. This is the YouTube and the Telegram channel of Unacademy. And that's it from my end. See you in my next class. Till then, it's time to say peace.